India's Goods and Services Tax, or GST, was, well, a monumental reform. Launched back in 2017, it aimed to unify the country into a single market. Before GST, India was honestly a complex web of taxes, visual, complex network transforming into a single GST pipeline. State taxes, central taxes. This created confusion and made doing business pretty difficult. GST replaced this patchwork with one indirect tax. One nation, one tax. Streamline tax collection, reduce tax evasion, boost economic growth, make India more attractive to investors, domestic investors, international investors. However, the journey has not been without its bumps. The initial implementation was, let's face it, complex. Businesses struggled with multiple tax slabs and a demanding compliance portal. The structure had several rates: 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%. The centerpiece of the new GST reforms is the rationalization of tax slabs. India is moving away from its complex four-tier structure. Infographic: old slabs 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%, merging into new 5%, 15%, 28%. The plan is to merge the 12% and 18% slabs into a single unified rate. This new median rate is expected to be around 15%, which is a significant simplification. It will eliminate the frequent disputes over whether a product falls into the 12% or 18% category. Most consumer goods and services will now fall under this single rate. The existing 5% slab for essential items will remain. The 28% slab for luxury and so-called sin goods will remain. The middle of the tax structure will become much cleaner. Another major change is the inclusion of previously excluded sectors under the GST ambit: petroleum products, petrol, diesel. States relied heavily on the revenue from fuel taxes. The new reforms propose a phased inclusion of these products. This will bring uniformity to fuel prices across the country, ending wide state-to-state variations. Electricity is being brought into the GST net. Real estate is being brought into the GST net. For the ordinary Indian, the most immediate impact of these GST reforms will be felt in their household budget. The merging of the 12% and 18% slabs into a single 15% rate is the key driver here. Many daily use items that were previously taxed at 18% will now become cheaper. Soaps, toothpaste, hair oil, packaged foods. A 3% reduction in the tax rate on these items might seem small on its own, but when you add up the savings across your entire monthly shopping list, the difference becomes noticeable. This effectively increases the disposable income in the hands of consumers. The inclusion of petroleum products under GST will also have a profound effect. Currently, petrol and diesel prices vary significantly across states due to different state-level taxes, or VAT. Petrol-diesel bringing fuel under a uniform GST rate will end this disparity. While the final GST rate on fuel is yet to be decided, it is expected to be lower than the current combined tax burden in many states. This could lead to a reduction in fuel prices. Cheaper fuel has a ripple effect across the economy. It will lower transportation costs for everything, from vegetables delivered to your local market to goods ordered online, potentially reducing prices further. Right, so the biggest win for consumers comes from the rationalization of the middle tax slabs. Many items stuck in the 18% bracket will now move to 15%. That translates into lower retail prices. Welcome news. The list is long. Personal care, toothpaste, soaps, shampoos, kitchen, sauces, jams, soups, ice cream. Small savings on each add up over a month. The impact goes beyond kitchen and bathroom. Consumer electronics and home appliances, televisions, up to 32. Refrigerators, washing machines, mobile phones. Moving these to 15% makes them more accessible. That could spur demand and boost the durables industry. Other common purchases: furniture, footwear, stationery, bags. The GST reforms are well poised to create clear winners in the Indian stock market. Industries that have been grappling with complex tax structures and high rates are set to benefit the most. The fast-moving consumer goods sector, or FMCG, stands out as a primary beneficiary. Companies in this space produce many of the daily use items, moving from the 18% to the 15% slab. This lower tax rate will either allow them to reduce prices to drive volume growth or improve their profit margins. Leading companies like Hindustan Unilever Limited, ITC Limited, are well positioned to capitalize on this shift. Another sector to watch is consumer durables and electronics. A 3% price reduction on items like refrigerators, washing machines, televisions can significantly stimulate demand, especially in a price-sensitive market like India. This makes companies like Voltas Limited, a leader in air conditioners, Havells India Limited, with its diverse portfolio of electrical goods and appliances, attractive prospects. The logistics sector is also a major gainer. The inclusion of fuel under GST is a game-changer for transportation and logistics companies. Uniform fuel prices and the removal of interstate tax barriers will streamline their operations and reduce costs. Finally, the automobile sector will also see positive effects, with companies like Maruti Suzuki India Limited, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited benefiting from improved operating environment. The latest GST reforms are, honestly, more than just a fiscal adjustment. They are a strategic move to unlock India's next phase of economic growth. By simplifying the tax structure, the government is making it easier to do business in the country. This sends a strong signal to domestic investors and to international investors. A stable and predictable tax regime reduces uncertainty and encourages long-term investment. The expanded tax base will bolster government revenues. Petroleum, real estate. This provides the fiscal firepower to invest in infrastructure, healthcare, education. For the common citizen, these reforms promise tangible benefits beyond cheaper goods. Increased disposable income from lower prices will boost consumption. That fuels demand, encouraging businesses to produce more and hire more people. The result is a virtuous cycle of consumption, production, employment. A more efficient logistics network, thanks to uniform fuel taxes, means faster, cheaper delivery. Benefits reach everyone: farmers getting produce to market, consumers receiving online orders. The reforms are about making the economy work better for everyone. Not just a tax update, it's a significant step toward a more prosperous future for India and its people.